What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Rusty's Speaking Custom again. Yeah, we gotta get some stuff done. You saw the last video. Wiring's pretty much all complete, I hope, as long as everything works. Well, jury's still out on that. I've already got set up, junk everywhere. I guess by setup I mean I've already made a mess. We gotta get the exhaust done. Once the exhaust is done, I gotta get water pump switched out and fluids in, and it's ready to start. So I said last video I won't post another video until it's running, and I'm gonna, well, actually what I said, a little play on words, is I'm not gonna post another video until I try to start it. It may not run, but yeah, I'm hoping that'll be today. There's a good chance it isn't. I don't know how long this exhaust is gonna take me. So I gotta get to work, and I'm not gonna go too in depth on the exhaust. I've done a couple on the channel before on other vehicles, so I may do a time lapse or something, and I'm just gonna try and get it knocked out. Hey! Do you guys hear that? It's about to storm outside. Lucky me. The camera died somewhere pretty early on in the exhaust, to be honest. But you guys will get the gist of it. I'll show you. It's basically done now. I gotta get another clamp, but I'm not gonna go do that right now, because it's not gonna hurt it. I could start it the way it is. So if I have time to start it, I'm gonna try. Let's go under here. Oh, okay. Sorry, I've been doing this a lot today. It's painful. Let's see. Hold on. Wait for it. You guys probably won't be able to see too well, but there you go. Whoop-de-doo, 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 whoop-de-doo. Don't look at those welds, they're real bad. This right here is where we need a clamp. I had to build this in 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces just so I could get it in and out of the truck, because these trucks, if you're trying to keep the exhaust up high, is a real pain in the butt because of the trailing arms, which I'll show you in just a second. But we got this pipe's in, and we got, I don't know if you guys can even see it, but the O2's in it. The wires are all zip tied up for that. This side, let's see, get a little light. This side's all in, and again, the O2's in it. It's a little snug right there. It's also going through the cross member. This is one of the clamps, one of the sections that's removable. I think the camera died while I was working on all of this. Because of the trailing arm, have to come through, and unless I want to have a muffler down here, which defeats the whole purpose, I had to go up and kick over into our muffler, and then out of our muffler and through there and out to the side. Yeah, it's kind of like everything I do. I'm not super happy with it, and I think long term I'm gonna end up I'd like to do a fully TIG welded stainless exhaust someday, and really take my time on it and make it nice. But this is gonna work. It's gonna get us on the road. This was, you might notice there's some stuff scabbed together. That's because this is all leftover stuff from the previous 2 exhaust systems I did. The only thing I purchased was the muffler, and there's definitely some areas that I could have used. I had 2 90s and I think 3 U-bends, and I really needed some 45s and stuff, but it works. Hopefully. We'll find out, at least. Yeah. So I'm gonna wiggle myself back out from under this truck. I gotta change that water pump. I'm gonna try and knock that out real quick. I'm running out of time very quickly. And I still gotta clean the bed out so I can put fuel in it. So I'm gonna try and get that knocked out. Hopefully we can try and turn the key on this thing today. See you then. Okay, boys and girls. I think we're ready to see if this will make any kind of noise. Hopefully good noises. I got the water pump switched out. I had to fight a leak with the thermostat housing because it's cheap Chinese junk. But it's got some water in it now. I put, I don't know, 1.5 gallons of fuel in it, and it's making fuel pressure. I don't see any fuel leaks. I'm gonna have to set the pressure once it's going. Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, it's got oil in it. I put power steering fluid in it. The transmission already had fluid in it. It'll need to be topped off probably, but that doesn't affect what we're doing here. Should basically be good to go, I think. So I'm gonna set you guys up somewhere and see if we can't make some noise here. Hopefully not too much noise because of that nice exhaust I put on. We'll see. Where do we want to put you guys? How about, I don't know. It's probably not really a good angle necessarily. Hopefully my mic is working so you can still hear me talk while this is happening. Not that any of you want to hear me talk. Let's I'll just leave you here. It'll be fine. Okay. This is the part where I get very nervous. Get out of my way, stuff. I don't know what any of this stuff means, so hopefully it's okay. We'll see. Okay, that was something. Okay, that was something. Smoking a lot. Come on, baby. Almost. It's very rich. Very, very rich. Wonder if we have way too much fuel pressure, maybe? How would I test that? I don't know. This is where I really need to be in more than one spot at the same time. Holy crap, this thing's rich. How do I take fuel out of it? Woo! Almost sounds like it's got a big vacuum leak or something. Why would it sound like that? Just trying to, I've never tuned anything before, so I'm trying to figure out what I would even do to Guys, I'm really happy it's making noise. I gotta get I need to figure out how to change this screen. I'm just looking through, doing a bad job of filming because I'm trying to figure this out, but nope, didn't mean to do that. Oil pressure. Well, I have great news. I don't know if you guys could see it on the screen, but it made 40 pounds of oil pressure. So that's our first win, besides the fact it actually does make noise. I don't know. I don't know if I need to try and just keep it running or what. It could potentially, I mean, there's probably a bunch of air in the fuel system, so that could be part of it. I don't know, just, I guess what I've been looking at is this IAC position. I feel like IAC TPS. So I guess what I'm thinking maybe is that it's trying to use that IAC to correct the idle, which is an idle air control valve, and maybe it's too far out of its adjustment range and it's struggling to keep it idling maybe. I mean, I couldn't be more happy with how quick it fired up, and it does not appear that we have any fuel leaks. We got oil pressure, excuse me, my enjoyment's coming through in indigestion, I guess. But yeah, I mean, this is all brand new to me. I've never done anything like this, so I just gotta figure it out. It's a lesson. Everything's a lesson. I'm gonna screw with this a bunch more. I'm not gonna make you guys watch me sit here and struggle, but see if I can't figure something out, and then I'll update you guys. We're doing good still. Welcome back. The garage is empty. It has been a week and a half or 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks since the last clip you saw of me trying to get the C10 running. And I did end up getting it to run pretty good. And I was gonna start videoing to show you guys that it was running. And then I realized that it was pouring oil all over my garage floor. I'm very upset about that because I was trying really hard to keep my floor clean, which honestly, for doing a full LS swap, I feel like I did a decent job of keeping it clean. But yeah, so it was 100% my fault. It was a stupid mistake. I don't know if I was tired when I was putting the motor together or what, but on the LS's where the front and rear covers meet the oil pan, you have to put some silicone there, and I did not. I don't know if I just thought I had magical abilities or what, but yeah, there's just a oversight on my part. So it turned out to not be that big a deal. I was able to get the oil pan dropped in the truck. I didn't take it out, but I got it dropped down enough where I could clean everything and silicone it. I did that first thing this morning, so it's probably not dry enough, but I'm running out of patience because I would like to hear this thing run again. I do want to show, which we'll do in a second, I want to show some of the stuff I changed to get it to actually run. I believe the last clip, it would like start and die, and it didn't really want to stay running. One thing I had to play with quite a bit was the throttle position, or the IAC, I guess, idle air control. I played a lot with the idle, trying to get to where it wasn't using a ton of IAC, which is, you can see it on the display, how much, what value of idle air control it is giving it to keep it running at the desired idle. So that was a big thing. And then something called a fuel table offset, which will actually richen or lean your whole fuel table. But I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, it's outside. I will say I've since changed some things in the computer. So like my fuel table offset, after it ran for a while, I was able to put it back to a factory setting and it stayed running. These things got to learn. They don't just know how your motor, what your motor needs. So yeah, I guess we'll try to fire this thing up and see how it does. Hopefully it doesn't pour oil, but that's part of why it's in the driveway now, because if it does, I don't really care about the asphalt driveway. Thanks for sticking around. Okay, we're powered up. Real quick before I start, I will show you, if you go to the menu, go to tuning, go to fuel, there's the fuel table offset, and there's 3. This is based off what cam profile you pick in the startup wizard. Obviously I went with stock because I have a stock cam. And what you can do, 90% is what it comes with from the manufacturer. You can raise and lower the fuel table offset, and basically what that's doing is it's adding or subtracting fuel to the entire map. Now, I'm not a tuner by any means, but I would assume that you do not want to necessarily tune the vehicle that way. However, it is a quick way to kind of get the map a little closer. If you can see what the motor is doing on the AFRs. So I went through and set this up from the first time I started to have all the stuff I want to see on here, which it took me a minute to figure out how to do this. But what you do is you just, like, if you want to change this cell, you just double click on it and you can choose what sensors you want it to read. I went with battery, coolant temp, oil pressure, fuel level, which is not currently working for some reason. Both AFRs, because I have dual wideband sensors, ignition advance, and then air temp in the intake. That's just, honestly, to me, there's only so many things you need to monitor, so that was just kind of a fill in the blank situation. So I guess we'll see if this thing will start. Yeah, like I said, I haven't started it since that day because I didn't want to make an oily mess. So let's see what happens. Okay. So we're kind of, sounds like we're going to have the same issue we were having before. But that wasn't bad for, you know, it's been sitting a couple weeks. Okay. Now let's go into monitor, sensors. Let's go to, where are you? Let's go to IAC position and see what that reads. For some reason that's a little higher than I think it should be. So it is also trying to idle up for cold temps. So let's try, maybe we won't mess with that yet because it's trying to achieve cold idle, which is going to require some extra idle air control, if you will. So let's go to, now what I had to do the other day to get this to run on its own is I actually had to add fuel to the table, and it seemed to like that. So let's try that. Save it. Go back to our dash. Why won't you run? Okay. Did not seem to like that. So let's go back to tuning. Let's try going the other way. See if that helps. Save. Back. Let's try again. That didn't work. I really thought this was gonna go better, I'll be honest. Let's try. I had to go to 120 last time, so let's try that again. See what it does. I don't know if you guys could hear it, but it started to, you might have been able to even see it. It started to kind of learn. And also, for some reason, I have the alternator hooked up to the charging wire that comes out of the harness. For some reason, it takes it a second to start charging. Maybe you could see it on the video in the top left corner. It was at like 11.5 for, I don't know how long that was. I guess I could look on the video. But then all of a sudden it'll start charging. And now it's sitting at 14.2. All of a sudden the truck's running pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the exhaust. Seems to sound pretty good. Motor sounds pretty healthy. Let's see if we're leaking a bunch of oil. I can't tell. There's some oil on the pan, but I almost think that's for me not cleaning up after myself. This thing sounds pretty healthy. Woo! This thing, these ECUs, you just gotta, once they get up to coolant temp, it'll start to learn. And it should just gradually run better. Obviously you have to make some tuning adjustments, but it will learn. I'm just looking through stuff. I don't really know. I'm not a tuner by any means, so I might have some really bad news. This thing just dropped oil pressure. Huh. It just went to like 10 pounds of oil pressure. Oh. That could be bad. I'm gonna have to... Man, I hope that's not right. It'd be a real bummer to get this thing all together and then find out it doesn't make oil pressure. It made a good oil pressure the other day. Made like 40 pounds. Woo, it's hot. Okay, well, I gotta look into some things, and then I'm not gonna make you guys just stare at me. So I'll check back in a minute. Okay guys, I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know if my microphone's working. I got good news and I got bad news. Why are you making that noise? Oil pressure is okay. I think maybe I had some air bubbles in the sensor or something. I don't know. Kind of revved it up a little bit and kept an eye on it, and it would fluctuate and fluctuate. Now it's kind of leveled off. So it gains with RPM. That's fine. I've been playing with the tuning a little bit. I think I've possibly made it worse. So I might go back. Okay. I don't know where I left off because I know for sure the last clip did not have sound. So I'm redoing that. We got good news and also some very unfortunate news. Oil pressure is fine. I think it maybe had some air pockets or something in the passage to the gauge or something. I don't know if that's even makes sense, but that's what I'm gonna tell myself. Seems to be idling like 25 pounds of oil pressure now and holding steady. So we're good there. Seems to be running okay. It's obviously needs to learn. Let's see if it'll fire back up. May not. I don't know. I've been messing with stuff and it's just I'm learning. So let's see. Primed. Fans are on because it's still at temperature. I mean, it's hard to be too upset with that, with not really doing any productive tuning on it. Now the bad news. Let's see. Can you guys see all that oil down there? We got a full-blown Exxon Valdez situation. So, unfortunately, it looks like the oil pan was not the issue. Or at least, it wasn't the whole issue. It wasn't leaking there for a little bit, and then all of a sudden just damn broke loose, I guess. It appears to be the rear main seal from what I can tell, which is very, very, very unfortunate, because that means one of two things has to happen. Either motor's got to come out or transmission's got to come out. I think it makes the most sense probably to pull the transmission and slide it back, and hopefully be able to leave the motor in the car. Truck, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying not to be super bummed out because I do have a running LS Swap C10. Just I'm really hoping to at least get a short drive in for this video, but it's just not gonna happen. I mean, I could technically go drive it, but it's pouring a good amount of oil out, and there's no sense in. I have no reason to potentially hurt something or cause a fire or nothing like that. It's pouring a lot of oil out. So yeah, I guess that's gonna be the end of this video. I was hoping to have a running truck at the end of this video. I got that, so that's a plus. Unfortunately, we now have a bunch more work to do, and I'll be honest, I'm not doing it today. I think I'm gonna take a lunch break, and then I'm going to throw the hood on that thing and maybe work on the Nova for a little bit and clean my garage, because this place, I mean, it is a complete disaster from having that truck in here for so long and me thrashing. I say thrashing, but honestly, today's the first day I've worked on it in a couple weeks. So anyway, all things are still positive except for that oil leak. The EFI stuff seems to be working. I got a bunch of playing with that I'm gonna have to do to try and get it to run a little better. We gotta see how it's gonna drive. Yeah, I'm excited, but also bummed out that I gotta take this thing back apart. And there's no one to blame but myself, because I put that rear main seal in, and I seem to have created an issue. So that's the way hot rods go. There's always some bugs to sort out. Just I wish there would have been anything else leaking other than the rear main where I got to pull the trans out, but that's the way she blows. Thanks for watching. I told you I was gonna have a running truck, and I did not lie. And I did not post until it was running. So I may not be good at building hot rods, but at least I didn't lie to you. Thanks for watching. Come back next time. I have no idea what we're gonna be doing. Probably working on the truck, even though I'd like to park it out in the woods and not look at it for a day or two. Anyway, see you.